Good morning, Void. How are you? So, last night I finally crossed another one off my. There's been a barrage of more recent movies on Shudder that have been coming out, but since I've been watching from the backside, I didn't think I was going to get to them for a while. Mad God was one, Glorious was another, so I'm kind of filling in some of those as I can. Another one that's been on my list for a while is The Sadness. I'd heard this is an over the top gore fest, and yeah, it lives up to that. And I will say I do appreciate the amount of practical effects in this film. They went all out, and been a long time since I've seen a movie this bloody that just didn't have a bunch of digitalization in it. So appreciate that. Uh, the Sadness is a Taiwan movie. Um, so this one being a zombie disease film, filmed during the pandemic, it definitely draws some connections there. Which, I don't know if it's still too soon for, but a few shots of just masks lying discarded and some of the denialism at the front hit a little close to home. Okay, so the Adam virus has been running around for a while, and most people it just affects them like a minor flu. But a doctor at the beginning is kind of trying to warn people that if there's a few things of this disease that are really bad, and if it mutates, it could be kind of something like rabies. Well, no one listens, and the disease mutates, and very quickly, the city is overrun by homicidal maniacs. So it's not quite a zombie film, as all the people aren't technically dead, and they maintain their reasoning. They just are driven to. It essentially elevates their aggression and sexual desires to 11, and they can no longer hold back. The doctor likened it to them holding back violence is like trying to stop blinking. You just can't do it, or can only do it for so long. So, it's pretty much about this couple, Jim and Kat, who are trying to survive it. Jim just left to head towards a job. No, Jim's at his apartment, and she just went to a job. And well, the outbreak, the disease mutates, and all hell breaks loose. So, and it's pretty much those two trying to reunite and then get out. And a lot of the movie does work. The gore, very over the top, and the scenes of violence are definitely out there. The movie definitely does not pull its punches, and I can appreciate that. I was a little leery about finally kicking up this one, mostly because another zombie film. But this one definitely feels like a different animal, especially since they aren't technically zombies. And it's kind of in the similar vein of like 28 Days Later, except for these zombies still actually talk and can taunt and think and reason. So it just makes them a little bit more terrifying as they're taunting their victims or pursuing them with like a lot of this is this one businessman who's determined to get at the main girl, Kat, and he's pretty much stalking her throughout the movie. So a lot of that is working. My only real complaint is this one does run a little long for what it is. If it was tightened up a little bit, I mean, technically it was an hour and 40, but it still felt stretched out. Like, there's a lot of. It got a little quiet between outbursts, so it was. I mean, if you cut 10 minutes out of this movie, it would have flowed perfectly. I could have used a few more scenes of the ultraviolence just to see what they were going to do with it. I will say this movie does stick the landing pretty well. I like how they don't just. I will say it's on a downbeat note, but it's not one of those ones where you still have to be paying attention because it's not the thing that they just show you, oh yes, everything is horrible. They just kind of start pulling back and focus on another scene, and you can just just kind of hear what's going on to the main characters after they've already left the scene. So yeah, but overall, this movie it was good. I won't call it great, but I can give it 6 MacGuffins. Definitely on the high end of average. Mostly still the zombie fatigue that's still probably preventing me from giving this a little bit better, but the sadness was enjoyable. It's worth seeing at least once, particularly with how batshit it gets. All right, all on this one. I'll see you guys later. And coming up tomorrow, oh boy.